कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं. So we are discussing, which is at the end of the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. We are going concept by concept, not in a way shloka after shloka. But these last few shlokas, almost 18 shlokas, 18 verses, there's no chance to skip any word. So Arjuna had a question, that in the scriptures, also from Sri Krishna himself, he has heard about this person who has realized the truth, who has realized that existence which is beneath all that appears to be existing. If you project a movie on the screen, movie is changing. That which is permanent is the screen. To see something which is changing, there has to be something which is unchanging. You change, you see every time the change. The buildings, the streets, people, everything is changing. Earth remains the same. Idea is that there is something which is called isness. Is is. I am, you are, he is, she is. That isness, the existence part. That existence part is to be realized. For majority of the people, the understanding of religion remains limited to temples and rituals, forgetting that temples and rituals is the, how to say, is a pointer. For example, if I say there is a clock and you keep on worshipping my finger as a clock, it doesn't mean anything. Scriptures also points to the truth. The realization of truth is the religion, not the pointers. Yes, pointers are useful. There is a beautiful expression in Sanskrit literature, not scriptures as such, called Arundhati Nyaya. Nyaya has many meanings. One Nyaya is justice. You should get Nyaya, that is justice. Technically, Nyaya is logic. Logic is called Nyaya. Nyaya Shastra, from scriptural point of view, is logic. From practical, Nyaya means that which gives you justice. Another third meaning of Nyaya is like. If I have to say, Andha Khanja Nyaya is something like a pair of two people. One is blind, one is lame. This, we all know the example. Two friends are going. One is lame, one is blind. So lame cannot walk, blind cannot see. So the blind person takes the lame person on his shoulder and the journey becomes easier. Somebody's eyes, somebody's legs. So here it is called Arundhati Nyaya. What is Arundhati? Arundhati is a constellation in the sky. There is a star there are 7 stars, which is called Saptarshi, and there is a smaller star visible. That smaller star is called Arundhati. So that whole nakshatra is called Arundhati nakshatra. What is Arundhati Nyaya? If somebody wants to show you that Arundhati star, how to show star is so far? You cannot point fingers. So many stars are there. Which star should I understand? So there is a way to explain. Okay, come, let us put this. See from here. Just above the microphone, you see the star. Microphone has nothing to do with star. But in your vision, just above the microphone, you can see that star. This example is called Arundhati Nyaya. To locate something, you take help of something which apparently has nothing to do with that. Scriptures are like that. Scriptures will show the way, but scripture is nothing but few pages. Hinduism is a very interesting religion. Which is our scriptures? Vedas. In the Vedas itself is written. By reading Vedas you cannot realize truth. Why they should write that? If this is Veda, if by reading this if I realize truth, anyone can pick up the book and read. Reading doesn't make you realize truth. There is something else which is realization. There is something else which is understanding. Then you can go one step forward to your realization. Simple reading doesn't make you that. We'll give an example. You want to drive a car, you want to have a license. Do you find anywhere person with 2 legs, person with 2 hands, person with proper eyes? These are basic requirements. Just because you have 2 legs, you cannot become driver. Just because your full body is healthy, still you cannot become driver. To drive, even if the book and basic theory test, even if you are very much aware about every traffic rule, still you cannot become a driver. What is required to be a driver? A sense. Reflex. I am here, car in front of me is say 50 meters away. We both are in speed. He will not ask you, he will not ask your permission whether should I stop the car. He will stop the car. Accordingly, you also have to push the brake. How much to push the brake? There is no book to tell you. How to count the distance? There is no book who can tell you. These are all reflex and your common sense. Nowhere it is written. Do you find anywhere this is written? You must have a common sense. Yes. You have a reflex. Yes. No. Nowhere it is. But without that you cannot try. Why I am giving this example is that which is apparent is not the truth. Truth is something which is beyond. Whole Bhagavad Gita you take 700 verses. There is no word called temple. There is no word called statue. Take the whole Vedas. Rig Veda, Sama Veda, Yajur Veda, Atharva Veda. There is no word called temple. Then from where the temples came? Again, every religion has its own speciality. Actually, it is not the religion again. It is the people who follow the religion. It is the ethos of that religion. It is the, I don't know what, it is the essence of the mood of that religion. You can interpret Bhagavad Gita according to you. We have a gentleman in Singapore, I know him, he is a very good person, learned person. He has written a book, War Techniques According to Bhagavad Gita. It's okay. It is his management, the principle of management in Bhagavad Gita. It's okay. Scriptures can guide you. What type of guidance you want, you decide. This example came to my mind not many years before, and I saw that example at fix. There is a building, say 30-story building. There is a lift. The lift has the capacity to take you right up to the top floor. You choose where you want to go. Those who stay on the second floor or third floor, they don't press the button which is 4, 5 or 6. And he will say, no, this lift can take only up to third story. No. Scripture can take you to the end. You decide how far you want to go. And interpret, accept, and practice accordingly. So Arjuna had this question. Then when you say, we have to realize the truth, if somebody has realized, how to recognize that person? 8 billion people are there in the world. Is there anybody who has realized the truth? If I have not realized, how I can recognize a person who has realized? So Sri Krishna says, these are simple qualities of a person who could have realized. To know the truth, as I told, is going beyond the limitations. How? You got a message. I heard you are coming to India from Singapore tomorrow. Can you please buy these things, these 2 items for me? You got a message. What you will do now? You will go to the market and buy. Once you buy, what's the value of that message? And if you do not buy, what is the value of the message? Message is important just for you to know. Once you know, you act on that. If you act, okay, I purchased those 2 things, I will take 2 over. What is the importance of message now? Nothing. Even if I delete, doesn't matter. And if you don't want to buy, in that case also message doesn't have any value. Shankaracharya writes beautifully in his book Vivekachudamani. Avijñāte pare tattve shastrādikistu nishphala. Scriptures are useless if you do not know the truth. Vijñāte pare tattve shastrādikistu nishphala. And if you know the truth, then also after scriptures are useless. Just like this message, scriptures. Importance of scripture is till you know the truth. If you don't put effort to know the truth, scripture doesn't have any meaning to you. If you know the truth, after knowing, scriptures are useless. Realization is beyond the scriptures, is not within the scriptures. In one of our Upanishad it is written, when one realizes the truth, tatra Veda Aveda bhavati. The Vedas becomes Aveda, Vedas becomes meaningless to you. Only after you realize. After you buy those 2 things, you don't need to read the message. No, every day I will read your message. But will you buy that things for me? No, I have no interest in buying it. I will read the scriptures every day. This reading the message 10 times a day also is not helpful to you. And if you buy those two things, after that also you don't need to read the scriptures, that's it, just like you don't read the messages. Here, scriptures are not criticized. The utility of scripture has this limitation. The limitation of that message. What scripture says, you need to act accordingly. You need to live life accordingly. I remember one great Swami, I don't know anyone of you have seen him, he was in Singapore for 6 years. Swami Samachittananda. In his time, all this counseling center, kindergarten, library, Nirvana magazine, all activities started in that 6 years, except Vajraman temple. I studied under him for 2 years. See, who is a sadhaka? Who is a seeker of truth? His understanding will be a little different than what you read in the books. He told me personally one thing. Do you read Bhagavad Gita? I said, yes, ma'am. Do you read the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna? Yes, ma'am. When you start feeling that Krishna is not telling to Arjuna, Krishna is telling to you, then understand that you have started understanding Bhagavad Gita. When you read the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, Ramakrishna is not telling to M or not telling to the disciple, he is telling to you. If that relationship is there with the scriptures, then only you can understand. Otherwise, information. You memorize all the 700 slokas, you can memorize even without understanding it. Sri Ramakrishna gives many examples. Think there are so many people who can explain Bhagavad Gita far, far better than what I can explain. Because he is a Pandit, he is a scholar. Every word he can do. What is the Shabdarup, what is Dhaturup, what is the Vibhakti. Everything he can explain to you. Along with that, if he practices what is taught in Bhagavad Gita, then it is worthwhile. Sri Ramakrishna was very direct in his teachings many times. He said the scholars who have no intention to lead spiritual life, just want to be a scholar of the scriptures, are like vultures who fly very high, but their eyes are always on the where dead bodies and the rotten things are lying. Maybe a great scholar, but in personal life he has no interest on higher values. Sometimes, maybe they lead worse kind of life even than the ordinary people. No, they will be a scholar. So it is not important to be a scholar. Yes, to be a scholar plus sadhaka makes you a spiritual aspirant. But if you have no intention to know the truth, if you have no intention to practice what is told in the scriptures, but you become expert of the scriptures, we accept your scholarship, but you may not be able to guide people from the spiritual life point of view. And either you can take guidance from yourself because you do not practice it. One beautiful example I can give you. You know, there is a small sentence which all of you have heard. It comes in Taittiriya Upanishad. 2 words. Satyam Vada, speak truth. Even if those who do not know, now you know. Satyam Vada, speak truth. So if I ask, have you understood me? Yeah, he is telling us to speak truth. Who really has understood the meaning of that sentence? One who do not tell lies, or one who has stopped telling lies. To know the meaning of the word Satyam, truth, Vada, speak, To know the meaning of the sentence is scholarship. And really only speaking truth and not speaking untruth, practicing the sentence in your life, that makes you spiritual seeker. Scriptures or any religious book, for that example, for that reason, must be read from this point of view. So, Arjuna's question was this. This person, a person of a wise person whose wisdom is steady, established, mature, how he behaves. There is a saying, by knowing truth, you don't grow two horns on your head. You remain like just anybody else in the world. But your behavior will be different. What behavior? Your reaction to the world. How do you think these people are different than you and me? How Jesus Christ is of a different kind? How Buddha is of a different kind? How Krishna is different? How Ramakrishna is different? How Confucius is different? How all these great people are different than us? Different lies in this. You can verify the scriptures from their life. Their life validates scripture. So who is higher? That person is higher who has practiced the scripture. So we saw a few two shlokas to connect where we were. Dukkheshu anudvignamana. Misery, unhappiness comes in the life of everyone. Some gets financial loss, some lose their health, some lose their peace of mind. They are always at loss. Miseries, unhappiness are part of life. Nobody is in the world who is free from this. And these are called pairs of opposites. Sukha, dukkha, happiness and misery come together. Heat and cold come together. So hot. Suddenly, I think 2 months, 3 months before, few days it came, and a whole month was very rainy. It was first time in many decades, Singapore night temperature came down to, I think 21, 22, something like that. And we are not habituated with it. So night, a small one fan is there. Got up and switch off the fan. So cold. Children started, where is my blanket? So we always do it. In such a hot season, there's always a blanket with the children and boys on. Who will feel cold when we don't know? Little rain, temperature comes down. So the sukha and dukkha, happiness and misery, come to all of us. Reaction to that is different from one person to another person. All of you are familiar with these two words, sukha and dukkha. In Sanskrit language, su stands for all good. Du stands for all that is not good. Suvichar, good thought. Durvyavahar is bad behavior. So su and du goes like this. What is kha? Sukha, dukkha. What is kha? Kha is environment. Actually space. Kha in Sanskrit. Akash. Akasha is called kha. So kha is the environment. When your environment is good, you feel happy. That is called sukha. When your environment is not good, you feel unhappy. That is called dukkha. So the sukha and dukkha, good and bad things continuously happen in our life. You want to eat food? Either it is good or it is not good. Or maybe it is okay. That means it is not good. Temperature today, very hot, not good. Tolerable, very good. So this good and bad is our continuous experience from anything we come in contact with. I met a person, good person or not good person. Every time, anything you come across has these two parts, good or not good. So how you should be behaving with that? Good things we attach to them, bad things start hating them. In general, people do like this. So this person, what he does, dukkeshu anuprignamana. He is not perturbed, disturbed by that which is not good. And this you need to practice. Bad things will happen. Without any reason, people will come and give you trouble. You don't even know the person. In our life it happens. Maybe God is extra gracious to us. That people whom you do not know will come and humiliate you, scold you, all possible things. Why? I don't know. What should be your reaction to that? People behave in their own way. Are you going to fight with everyone? But that's not the question. The question is how you react, at least internally. If you are perturbed by all that is miserable, you are not able to avoid misery by that. In our childhood we used to do it. Now also childish people do it. Oh, so hot. My goodness, so hot. Cannot read, cannot sleep, cannot do anything. Only criticizing that it is very hot. By telling or criticizing, it is not going to reduce. Take action. Switch on the fan. Or if you are in a place, go under a tree. Or take a paper and fan yourself. React to that. But continuously grumbling about the situation is not a solution. Sukheshu vigadaspriya. That which makes happy, we want it more and more, correct? That's a normal behavior. You appreciate good because it gives you happiness, no issue. But to be greedy about it, it doesn't matter that you are deprived. I must be happy. That's not the state of mind. So, he says this, that which is unavoidable in life, sukha and dukkha, happiness and misery, a mature person will act accordingly and try to be free from that misery. You should try. Try to be free from that misery. How? Not objectively doing something, take action on yourself. And not to be attached to that which gives you happiness. The biggest game in this world, in our life, is you are interacting with this world with your mind and with your senses. 5 senses. You see, you hear, you smell, you taste, you touch. These are the 5 senses by which you gather, experience the world. Your 5 senses interacts with the 5 sense objects, 5 types of sense objects. Sometimes you have to be thinking out of the box. It looks like a fool. But I'm sure you have not tried. None of you have tried that. Eyes are here. Ears are here. So close to each other. No? Hardly 3 inch externally. Nose is here. So close to the ear. All 3. But nose cannot see. nose cannot hear, ears cannot smell, eyes cannot smell. I remember I was slowly coming in contact with the mission. So there is a speaker which you hear. I kept in my mouth, full volume. Can't hear. Could be stupid. I say, experiment. All of us know, nothing to experiment. But to verify the senses. Just to. It's funny, but just trying to be little innovative. The 5 senses which you use along with your mind. If mind is not there, you cannot see. When my eyes are open, I can't see you. If my mind is not present. Sometimes you are talking to someone, oh, excuse me. His eyes are open, but he's not looking at you. Because mind is not there. See how God has created this body. I am reading a book, so much engrossed in the book, you call me, I can't hear. If your concentration is in the book, this happens. So 5 senses are not enough to experience the world unless your mind is attached to it. So, all the senses, I tell Sanskrit words for people to understand. 5 senses are called karana, by which you act, by which you experience. Mind is called antarkarana. These are all instruments. Mind is the inner instrument. Where mind is located, people will say here. Here brain is there, not mind. Brain is here, mind is everywhere in the body. Otherwise I touch here, how should I know? Mind is everywhere in the body. It is the brain is here. The head office here, but all the messages are coming from every part of the body. So, 5 senses along with mind are busy in experiencing this world, and these 5 senses only brings the misery and happiness, right? Any 6th kind of happiness or misery is released in this world? No. All 5 types. What you see, either good or not good. You hear, good or not good. Taste, good or not good. Smell, good or not good. Is there any 6th way to experience the world? No. Why I am talking this is, these are the 5 gates through which misery and happiness are experienced by you. If you want to reduce it, control the senses. Sri Krishna told to Arjuna in one sloka, Tasmat indriyani adav niyamya bharatarshava. Arjuna, try to control the senses. Those who have some control, we absolutely cannot control. Could be. But even little control is there on the senses, the intensity of sukha and dukkha, misery and happiness will be reduced and is under your control. Oh, happiness is coming, okay, let it come. Misery, stop it. Because you have control over your senses. But that control can come provided your mind is strong enough to control the senses. You got some food. You thought it must be very tasty. But you do not know whether that is allergic to you. So you took it. And then some rashes came in the body. Next time you do it, if you know, you don't do it. Why? You have that control. What is that? Oh, I don't get milk products. I remember one small boy, allergic to chocolate. Which child is allergic to chocolate? You give him one small piece of chocolate, night definitely must take to cake. Several times. And child is a child. So I told, no, you don't take. No, everybody take, I also want to take. Then he said, okay, you take. Take little. What happens to you? No, all rashes. Must run to take it. Because you are allergic to chocolate. What is allergy? Why he doesn't have allergy? I said, I also don't know. But your body is not able to take it. So if you are allergic to something, what you do? Don't take. Under temptation, you take and suffer. Next time again you don't take. So far as your mind is strong, you can avoid that misery. Let's say control of the mind or managing the mind. Nowadays we don't say control because control is not a good word to use. We have a beautiful small book called Mind and Its Control. That book was written 40 years before. I think we should change the name if necessary. Management of the mind. Control is one very well. That's true also. Control of the mind. So if you have a little control of the mind, if I see this, this happens to me. If I eat this, this happens to me. If I touch it, I know one person allergic to plastic. If you touch plastic like this, immediately you will find it becomes red. How? Nobody knows. So he avoids plastic. So use the wood or metals. So the mind is to be controlled up to a certain extent. Not fully, up to a certain extent. If you have little control, then you suffer a few more times before you stop doing that, which is a source of misery, which is a source of trouble. So this person is dukkheshu anudvignamana. He is not perturbed by dukkha. When dukkha comes, close the door. I don't hear. But you cannot close these ears. What you close is the mind. You keep on telling bad words to me. God bless you. You keep on scolding me, who cares? Your ears are hearing, but your understanding is not accepting it. These are not philosophy, this is practical. Let's say philosophy has to be practical. That philosophy which cannot be practicalized is matter for intellectuals to debate. But if you are a seeker of truth, we must take that philosophy which can be practicalized. Sukheshu vigataspreha. That happiness which is originated by the contact between the sense and the sense object. Eyes is a sense in the earth. Whatever you see is the sense object. So you feel happy or unhappy. Our tendency is, if you are happy, you want to see again. Thereby what happens is a different topic. You get attached to it. That also will come. That's a beautiful, interesting topic. Once you see, it gave you happiness. See it second time, see it third time, fourth time, fifth time, 1,000 times. Slowly you become attached to it. Misery I understand. If misery comes, you should know the tactic to avoid misery. But when happiness comes, why you should be stopping happiness to come to you? This is a philosophy. Happiness and misery is like two football teams, two goal posts, and you are the ball. What is your condition you tell? 22 people are ready to kick you. 11 says ball should be there, other 11 says ball should be here. Sukha and dukkha. You need to save yourself. equilibrium at the center, in complete balance. Balance is a very common word. There is a more technical word, is called poise. Poise. P-O-I-S-E, poise. That mind has to be in a complete equilibrium. Object of misery and happiness continuously come. So it will go here and there. Recently I went, that's why I'm telling. I went to Tanjavur. Tanjavur is famous for what? What is the big temple? Another thing?
Painting.
Painting. Painting is, there is a toy. Its base is heavier and bigger. Generally like only head and this body is made. You push like this, after some time come to like this. Push like this, it will come. This toy is many places in the city you will find this. On the crossroad also you will find big statues like that. That is an idea. Sukha and Dukha will keep on pushing you this side and that side, whichever side. It comes to its balance. The faster you can come to that state of equipoise or equilibrium or balance. Because in balance only you can do spiritual practice. People say, I want to meditate. If you are continuously oscillating between misery and happiness, when you are going to meditate? To meditate, this is one of the requirements. You should be less and less affected by the misery and happiness. They say most of the people cannot meditate. People can sit, close eyes, but cannot meditate. Other day somebody came, do you have meditation classes? I said, why? He said, do you have any classes in Singapore where love is taught? Love happens. Love is not taught. Meditation happens. If the object of meditation is interesting to you, all of us are great meditators. Why? Whoever, night 2 o'clock, give me a small book to read, I will sleep. Because I am not habituated. But if you are interested in World Cup, night 2 o'clock, 2 hours, eyes will not even close even for a moment. Complete concentration. Why? Because you are interested in that. You watch a movie. This is another side of the story. Keep on watching things in the mobile phone. One thing which we don't observe is your eyes are not even winking, doesn't happen. You continuously watch like this. And this continuous influx, continuous pouring useless information to your brain is the main cause of stress in today's world. You are taking information much more than what you need to. Who is wearing what clothes, who changed the hairstyle, who is wearing which brand, you have nothing to do with that. But still you collect information. And people are interested, now virtual world is more powerful than the real world. Oh, so and so takes this in his breakfast. And he also started cooking that breakfast because he takes. You don't need this information. But our brain is completely bombarded continuously with information. What you are going to do with the information? When you sit for meditation, this information runs riot in your mind. Meditation is like churning. But what you are stuffing in your mind is either meaningless like water or bad things like filth. By churning filth and plain water, no butter is going to come out. Swami Samachittananda says in one place, before stuffing your mind with sociological and political ideas, these 2 words he uses, fill up your mind with spiritual ideas. Spiritual is not religious. What we are talking now about misery and happiness has nothing to do with religion. It is spiritual, which will cleanse your spirit, mind, heart, whatever you want to say for initial meaning. So, person is free from these two. Continuous these two, misery and happiness, will come to you, will disturb you. You either go this side or that side, but come to your balance. And that state of mind, which is less and less affected by happiness and misery, that mind only is fit to meditate. That's why in Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga, meditation is at the 7th step. Who will practice 1 to 6? Everybody wants to meditate. Who will do first 6? You want to go to 6th floor? No, I am not ready to go to 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5. I want directly to go to 7th floor. You cannot. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, then Dhyana. So a lot of patience is required to understand first what is the game plan. All this religion, philosophy people are talking what really it is. You don't understand. Then live a life. It is something where you want to go. No, I want to go to Changi Airport. But you are walking towards Jurong. Oh, but that is my hobby. Killing the hobby. If you want to go to Changi Airport, correct? PI Changi, PI to us. You are going to. You want to go to Changi or going to us? You can never reach Changi Airport. So what is your goal of life? What eventually you want to achieve in your life? Most of the people doesn't have any goal, unfortunately. What do you want to achieve? So what normal people try to achieve, you also achieve. Nothing wrong in that. That's life of everyone. But eventually what you want to achieve? At the end of the day, when time comes of that grand exit from this world, how you want to go out? Nothing whatsoever in material sense will be useful to you. You are a multi-billionaire, billionaire, whatever, trillionaire, whatever you want to say. Can you take 1 cent with you when you die? I'm not telling you to renounce it. No, you leave your life. Your money is your money, doesn't matter. With this understanding, then nothing is going to go with you. So, even if money belongs to you, you will not own the money, you will be trustee of the money. You will utilize the money as wise as possible. You hold on to your money, along with the hands by which you hold, that body itself is going to be left here. And the world is, we are all very foolish, and if you are going to die, the rest of us are extremely selfish. Not even the clothes which you are wearing will allow you to go with you. Human being is such a wretched animal. You know, your nature and mine, now we are all good people. Your real nature will come out in crisis. There was a big flood. I was very young at that time. The mud, 8 to 10 feet of mud is in the city. Thousands of dead bodies inside the mud died. So your bulldozer and cranes will come and take the mud, and you will find somebody's hand, somebody's feet. From those rotten dead bodies, people were taking out the rings. What God can show more clear picture than this? That this is life. Fortunately, you are not one of them. And those who are left behind alive thinks that this world is so real. And literally they took out the rings and ornaments and all that from the dead body. The purpose is what? Lead a normal life. Nothing. You don't need to go to Himalayas. You don't need to go to forest. Only one small element Nowadays, everything comes in a chip, small chip. A small chip you need to install in yourself, which is called chip of detachment. If that is installed, no issue. Everything is okay. You don't need to run away anywhere. You do as you need to do. But with this small factor in your heart, which is called detachment. Because that is the truth. No philosophy is required here. Whether you are a Singaporean, Indian, American, Mexican, whosoever you are, you will die one day. You are a man, woman, or the third, you will die one day. Whether you are rich or poor, or a king or slave, you will die one day. This is very true. When we all were young, how many of us knew that you will become what you are today? Did I know at the age of 10 that I will become a monk? No. What all of us knew is that one day we will die. That is the only future we can forecast. I can tell you a future that you will die one day. Everybody will die one day. So this is the world. You are here for this small temporary period of time to make your antakarana strong enough to understand the truth and to be free from this. That salvation in Christianity, moksha in Hinduism, Nirvana in Buddhism, by whatever name you want to say, the goal is this: to understand the truth. How we came into this place? Buddha gives a good reason. Why you want to worry about that? How you came? You are here, that is very sure. Now think how you can come out of this. If somebody is sinking in water, and you put a microphone and say, "Sir, how you came into this deep water?" Look, that fellow will say, "Sir, take me out first." We need to think that we need to come out of this first. How we came here doesn't matter. Whether somebody pushed you, whether you jumped or whatever happened to you, nobody is interested. So the idea is this: the scriptures are here to help us, show us the way. Read any scripture for that reason. Scriptures are told in a different way. Scriptures came out of the great people of different countries. So the examples, the language, the similes are different. Truth is the same. Truth is not true. Truth is only one. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Mission Singapore.